Earlier I spoke about how I use technology in my day-to-day. The absence of technology, at least from my perspective when I went through, was a great thing. I valued and still value having a childhood, having a time to play, a time to experience nature, a time to become friendly with nature. There are so many people I know who are truly uncomfortable being outdoors, who are truly uncomfortable spending the night under the stars, who are unacquainted with the world because they are focused in on an artificial version of it. I can't judge this. I'm the designer of it now. Every day I work in it. But I know that they are missing a very special part of the world. And in my Waldorf education, I felt like I got exposed to that every day, whether it was going out to the farm to milk a goat or out to the woods to, I don't know if you guys ever played Ambush, but it was an awesome game where we got to run around in the woods and be free, and it was sort of like you capture the flag, but it was in the woods, and you could get lost, and you could find yourself and come back. And those are experiences that are crucial to my health every day. Technology, what I do with it, even though that's how I make my living, is just what I do. Who I am is much more connected to the rest of the world, to my community, to the people I grew up with, to my family, to my friends. And those are the things that are important that I can't learn and don't change. Technology changes every day. And being stuck in one part of it, being stuck in a certain coding language or programming for a certain kind of device, those things will go away, and they go away very quickly. The things that matter, the things that sustain me and maintain my enthusiasm and curiosity are the things I learned in Waldorf about the fearlessness, the joy of interacting and maintaining relationships, of art, of being creative, and play. And those are things that sustain me every day. And those are much more important than an education in technology. You can learn technology. Clearly, I did after I graduated, and now I design for it. So I think it's a great education to not focus on that.
You know, I think it was a lot different then in the late 80s when not everybody had a computer at home, and I think that from what I can tell, the school has changed and has grown with this really dramatic transformation in how integrated computers and technology and everything is in the world these days. And I think we're definitely right to be a little cautious about it, in that I think that we were sort of always were aware that you know, computers and science and these things are tools, but they can become, you know, sometimes they're really shiny, cool, fun tools that can become all-consuming. And I think that I do see today, you know, as running a business and hiring people who are just now coming out of college, you know, on a fairly regular basis. There are people who you can tell they've spent way too much time in front of a computer and not enough time sort of out in the world or thinking out of sort of their digital realm. And you know, all of my friends and colleagues, we're all on Facebook, and we're as technically proficient as anybody else is, if not more in some cases. But I think we always saw the technology that we were allowed to, you know, we were provided opportunities to explore really interesting technologies, but it was never something that was sort of just taken for granted. So I think we just sort of learned to respect it and to realize that it's something that is there and a very powerful tool and something that we can use to do creative, amazing things. But you know, it's almost like the analogy might be that you know, before you learn to run, you have to walk. So before you know, design digital 3D things in a computer, you should learn to draw. And I think that was essentially sort of the philosophy. And I didn't really find any flaws with that. It sort of all worked itself out.
I think that without the ability to use your senses in the environment, and the approach that Waldorf takes to encourage young people to do that is critical. I don't think that an absence of technology in a young person's education is a terrible thing. I don't think that the presence is a terrible thing. But using your wits and learning basic science, math, in addition to the rest, is very, very important. And I also feel that at least I received a fabulous grounding. I don't know any other scientist in my circle of professional colleagues and friends who had botany in 5th grade. Not a single one.